Your life from 0 subs to 10 million subscribers. It's 1:38 a.m. and you're still awake in your bedroom, staring at a video that has 7 views. 3 of them are yours. Your laptop fan screams under the desk. Your phone is face down because you already checked it 12 times. Nothing changes. No comments. No subscribers. No proof that anyone outside your room knows you exist. Then your old boss texts you. Can you come back Monday? Same pay. You stare at the message for a long time. Same pay means the same fluorescent lights. Same lunch break in your car. Same manager calling you buddy while cutting your hours. Same feeling that life is happening somewhere else to people who figured out something you missed. You open your editing timeline instead. There's a half-finished video sitting there. Dark music. A rough voiceover. A title you almost delete because it feels too dramatic. Your life as every level of power. Your finger hovers over the export button. You know this choice is stupid. Rent is due in 9 days. Your account has $312. A normal person would sleep, answer the text, and go back to work. You export the video. At 2:17 a.m., you upload it. No announcement, no audience, no safety net. Just one thumbnail, one title, and one decision that quietly closes the door behind you. At 0 subscribers, you are invisible. That is the first humiliation. Nobody hates you yet. Nobody criticizes you. Nobody copies you. Nobody cares enough. You refresh analytics like a desperate gambler. 6 impressions. Then 13. Then 27. Your click-through rate means nothing because the sample size is pathetic. But you treat it like scripture anyway. You learn the first hidden rule quickly. The platform does not reward effort. It rewards response. You can spend 40 hours on a video and watch it die in 12 minutes. You can make something in one exhausted night and see it get more views than everything before it combined. So you stop asking what you like. You start asking what people cannot ignore. The first video that moves does not explode. It crawls. 100 views, then 900, then 3,000 by the next morning. Your hands shake harder at 3,000 views than they later will at 3 million. Because for the first time, strangers are watching. And strangers are dangerous. They comment like they know you. Part 2. Voice is creepy. This is fire. Bro thinks he's making a movie. You read every word. You tell yourself criticism doesn't matter. Then you spend 2 hours adjusting your next script because one comment says the hook is too slow. At 1,000 subscribers, you stop being invisible and become accountable. People expect something now. That is worse. You post again, then again. Every upload becomes a public test of whether your instincts are real or imagined. Your sleep starts bending around analytics. You wake up and reach for the phone before your brain fully loads. Retention graph. Click-through rate. Average view duration. Subscribers gained. Subscribers lost. Numbers become weather. They decide your mood before breakfast. You learn that viewers don't leave randomly. They leave at weak sentences. They leave during slow visuals. They leave when you repeat yourself, when the music drops too early, when the promise of the title doesn't hit fast enough. So you sharpen everything. Shorter openings, darker thumbnails, higher stakes, less explanation, more consequence. You begin turning ordinary topics into power ladders because power keeps people watching. At 10,000 subscribers, people start messaging you like you have answers. Small creators ask how you did it. Brands offer $75 for a shout-out and act generous. Friends who ignored your first uploads suddenly say they always knew it would work. You smile. You say thanks. You remember who didn't share the first video. That memory embarrasses you but it stays. Success doesn't make you kinder automatically. Sometimes it just gives your resentment better evidence. The channel earns its first real money in month 5. $1,842. Not enough to feel safe. Enough to make quitting feel possible. That is the dangerous number. You stop applying for jobs. You stop explaining your plan to people who need guarantees. Your world shrinks to scripts, thumbnails, voiceovers, retention, upload schedules, and the quiet terror of losing momentum. A video hits 1 million views. You don't celebrate properly. You stare at the analytics and think about the next upload. That is when you realize growth has already changed the reward system in your head. What used to feel impossible now feels like baseline. At 100,000 subscribers, the silver plaque email arrives. You expect pride. Instead, you feel pressure. Now the audience has a shape. They have habits. They punish experiments. They reward familiar patterns. They say they want originality. But the safest videos are the ones that resemble the last video they loved. You start building a machine. Script templates. Thumbnail rules. Topic scoring sheets. Audience retention maps. You hire an editor for $600 per video, then another for thumbnails, then a researcher who sends you 20 topic ideas every Monday morning. Your bedroom operation becomes a small studio without an office. People now depend on your channel for income. That changes the moral weight of every decision. When a topic feels cheap but clickable, you rationalize it. When a thumbnail feels too intense, you call it competitive. When a title simplifies a complex subject, you tell yourself everyone does it. You are not lying. You are packaging. That distinction becomes useful. At 500,000 subscribers, competitors appear. They copy your pacing, your thumbnails, your phrasing. Your entire structure just changed enough to avoid shame. At first, you feel violated. Then you feel threatened. Then you become colder. You publish faster. You test more aggressively. You study their uploads, not as entertainment, but as enemy movement. You learn another hidden rule. Attention is territory. If you don't occupy it, someone else will. The channel becomes less like art and more like warfare. Your friends say you seem distant. Your family says you're always working. You tell them this is temporary, but you no longer know what temporary means. At 1 million subscribers, every mistake scales. A bad line becomes a thread. A weak claim becomes a pylon. A sponsor complaint becomes a legal email. A missed upload becomes speculation. You hire a manager. Then an accountant. Then a lawyer. The thing you built to escape bosses now creates new bosses with different names. Audience, algorithm, sponsors, revenue targets, employees, reputation. Each one has power over you. You film less because your face is not the product anymore. Your judgment is. Your ability to know what millions of people will click before they know it themselves. That power feels unreal. Then it feels normal. Then it feels heavy. At 3 million subscribers, money becomes serious. Monthly revenue crosses $80,000 during strong periods. Sponsorships offer $25,000 for 60 seconds. A company offers equity to mention their app. Another wants approval rights over the whole video. You say no publicly. You negotiate privately. The old version of you would judge this. The current version understands payroll. You move into a better apartment and immediately convert one room into a production office. You buy expensive lights, better audio equipment, backup drives, software licenses, and a chair that costs more than your old monthly rent. It should feel like freedom. Instead, you spend more time indoors. The channel demands consistency. Consistency demands systems. Systems demand sacrifice. You begin measuring life in upload cycles. At 5 million subscribers, strangers recognize you. Not everywhere. Just enough to remove peace. At airports, they stare before approaching. In restaurants, someone records from 3 tables away. Online, they dissect old posts, old opinions, old jokes, old friendships. Your private life becomes potential content for people who dislike you. You become careful in public, careful in messages, careful with trust. Your circle tightens. Power increases. Freedom decreases. At 8 million subscribers, you are no longer a creator in your own mind. You are an institution. Your team has meetings without you. Editors argue over pacing. Researchers pitch dangerous topics. Sponsors compete for calendar slots. Fans build theories about your next upload like it matters to their lives. And somehow, it does. That responsibility frightens you in quiet moments, because you know how easily attention can bend people. You can make a topic feel important by framing it correctly. You can revive a dead story. You can destroy a bad idea. You can push millions of people toward fear, ambition, outrage, hope. You start cutting lines not because they are false, but because they are too powerful. That is a different kind of restraint. At 10 million subscribers, the diamond plaque sits in a custom black case under soft lighting. You look at it alone after midnight. No applause, no dramatic music, just your reflection in the glass. You remember the first video with 7 views. The old boss's text. The $312 in your account. The feeling that you are standing outside your own life, knocking. Now millions wait for you to speak. But you don't feel finished. You feel watched. The machine keeps moving. New creators rise below you with sharper thumbnails, cheaper teams, fewer scars, and nothing to lose. They study your work the way you once studied others. Somewhere, a person with 0 subscribers is awake at 1:38 a.m. staring at an export button. They think the hard part is getting noticed. They don't understand that attention is not freedom. It is a door. And once it opens, everything starts asking for more.